Hello, my name is Michael McCabe, Product Manager for ASInterface at Pepperl+Fuchs. This is a short but very informative video on Pepperl+Fuchs CB10 Module. The CB10 module is used for connecting mechanical push buttons and selector switches, 3-wire sensors, and e-stops to ASInterface. Safety models do exist, and I'll discuss those later on. So first, simplifying wiring has always been in demand, especially on those lower level networks where there are lots of sensors and actuators. And the goal really is to save time, materials, and costs. Now here's a nice illustration showing conventional wiring. You can see the push button box down at the bottom right. The wiring for it is going to be a little bit cumbersome, only because you're going to have to run wires to each one of those buttons, switches, and indications. Not only that, you're going to have to run power as well, if needed. Now here's a nice example of a conventional push button and indication box. It may or may not be used on the factory floor, but at least you can see on the left-hand side how the wires might be a little bit messy and not so uniform. It might be hard to troubleshoot if you have a problem, and you're not sure if a Mod Podge of pieces were used when the box was created. And on the right-hand side, you can see that the labeling will indicate which wires are which for future troubleshooting. And also there's a need to run power as well. ASInterface is known for making wiring simple and easy. And with the CB10 module, that functionality is getting extended to push button boxes, which you can see on the right hand side. Now before I talk about the CB10 module, I think it's important to talk about ASInterface versus IOLink. Is an IOLink coming in and replacing ASInterface? No. Realize that ASInterface offers distinct advantages and disadvantages, and IOLink offers distinct advantages and disadvantages. These technologies are application specific. It depends on how they're being used. Also realize that these two technologies are being used together more and more as time goes on, making it easier to utilize the advantages of both. So, a quick refresher on when to use ASInterface. You're going to want to use it when you have long strings of sensors and actuators. When you're using low data devices, up to 62 can be used. You'll want to use it when you need the ease and flexibility of setup now and in the future, because remember you're using that yellow flat cable which has data and power on it. The yellow flat cable can be run up to 100 meters, and with repeaters, the network can be even larger than that. Also remember that the topology is very free form. You can route the yellow flat cable to wherever you need to go to hook up more modules. Also, ASInterface is great when you want to have safety on the network. And of course, when do we want to use IOLink? We want to use IOLink when we need high amounts of data at the sensor level. But we've got to be okay with point-to-point wiring, so think ring topology with 20-meter lengths. And you're going to need time to plan the layout, because you're going to have to order cables to specific lengths, and that includes cables for power as well. And it's not going to be so easy as it is on ASInterface to move stuff around in the future. IOLink does offer safety, but it's not currently as advanced as ASInterface is. These technologies are complementary. See ASInterface as the bus system and see IOLink as the point-to-point wiring with high data capabilities. They're going to work closer and closer together as time goes on, and you'll see that as new products come to market. At the time of this video, Pepperl+Fuchs is working towards ASI 5, and we're coming up with quite the solution. I'm proud that we take time to create products that become standards in the industry. And if you think ASInterface is the right solution for your application, no worries, you can get started right now. We currently have a very strong ASI 3 line of products offering lots of solutions. And ASI 5, when it comes out, will be in addition to ASI 3, not a replacement. Again, depending on the application, you'll receive different benefits depending on which option you choose, IOLink or ASInterface. But either way, as time goes on, it'll be easier and easier to use both together. And that brings us back to the CB10 module, another product that greatly expands the functionality of the ASInterface networking system. You can connect the push button box very simply now. You only need 2 wires to connect into the ASInterface network. Here, you see the brown and blue wire. The crimps have been removed and the wires have been connected to 2 pins on the M12 connector. The other side of the M12 cable can be routed down to a simple G10 ASInterface splitter box, which, of course, connects right to that yellow flat cable. You'll also want to give the CB10 module an address on the ASInterface network. And you can do this by connecting the handheld programmer to the M12 connection, or just use control tools, which can be downloaded free from our website. It's really easy to connect the CB10 module and assign it an address. To see just how small the CB10 module is, I've lined it up against the quarter. On the right hand side, you can see it tucked away in a push button box. I will say that this is definitely smaller than the competitors I've seen. Again, due to its small size, you have a lot of flexibility while installing it. It fits easily into small boxes and panels or even behind them. It comes with a double-sided adhesive tape for installation, which is super easy, and I'll say that the competitors' products require a lot of space compared to the CB10 module. Thanks to hotmelt technology, the CB10 module is very tough. The electronic components are fully encapsulated inside, and it has a very polished appearance. It's extremely robust and impact resistant. The competitors are bigger, heavier, and not as polished, and some are even sloppy, which makes mounting actually more difficult. The wiring is really simple. The ASInterface connection is through your brown and blue leads. You have color-coded leads for everything, which makes installation really clear. And you have a common red lead. You can see it on the right-hand side. It's looped through all of those push buttons in the box there. Some of our competitors might use lead colors that are similar to one another, which can be confusing. Not only that, but they may use tin-plated leads, not crimped ends like ours. And of course, the CB10 module is easy to troubleshoot. It's got LEDs for clean installs. It lets you know if the voltage is okay. It lets you know if an address has not yet been assigned, if there's a communication error, or an output overload. And it gives you details about the inputs and the outputs. The competitors I've seen do not offer this diagnostics with LED information. The CB10 module is the Swiss Army knife of push-button box connectors. It allows up to 4 inputs and outputs depending on what model you choose, and it's great if you want to make your own pre-assembled boxes. I can't imagine how many ways the CB10 module could end up being used, but maybe you can. Also remember, there's no aux power needed. The power comes through that yellow ASInterface flat cable. The CB10 module also comes with safety models. This covers the highest safety standards. SIL 3, which is safety integrity level of 3. This covers the highest levels of potential harm and probability that a risk would happen. And PLE, or performance level of E. This covers the highest level of performance. Here are the 4 models we have of the CB10 module. The top 2 models will cover your standard push-button boxes and 3-wire sensors without safety. Again, you can have up to 4 inputs and outputs on those. Next are the 2 safety models shown below. You can see that both models have 2 safety-related inputs, and one has 1 conventional output, and one has 2 conventional outputs. Whether or not you can use up to 2 conventional outputs really depends on the level of safety your devices need. The non-safe conventional outputs are great for things like lighting up LEDs, which could also be in the box. Now, how the CB10 module is used really just depends on what you need. Maybe you need to know when a button is pressed, such as an e-stop, which will be used to shut down a machine. Or maybe you want to sound a buzzer at a specific point, or maybe light up an indication. Whatever you're looking for, the CB10 module is likely to help make it happen. So again, my name is Michael McCabe, and I'm here to help. And just remember, this CB10 module is very small and very versatile. It has a great price point, so check it out. See how easy it is to simplify your wiring and hook up the push button and indication boxes. And remember that ASInterface is here to make wiring and low-level networking easier. Simply give the CB10 module an address on your ASInterface network and you're good to go. And finally, please let me know if there's anything else that I can do for you. And remember that Pepperl+Fuchs is a leader in industrial automation, so click the subscribe button below to see the new industry-leading products that we come out with. And if I did a good job on this video, please click the thumbs up button so that others can find it more easily. Remember that if we don't tell YouTube what's important by giving it a thumbs up, we're going to keep seeing only those shocking and crazy videos, which can be fun, but they're not helping us become the intelligent professionals we aspire to be. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.